In this video, I interview Michaela Alexis about one of the biggest opportunities in online video and the #1 way to conquer your fear when it comes to recording videos. Coming up.
This video is brought to you by LearnVideo.live, a free 1-hour online training on how to grow a highly influential and profitable YouTube channel this year. To get free access, just go to LearnVideo.live.
What's up, influencers? Welcome to another interview here on Video Influencers, where we're helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online videos. I have Michaela Alexis, the lady with no title, but you definitely want to hear what she has to say. Thank you so much for letting me interview you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest opportunities right now, I believe, in online video in general. But before we do that, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started and where you're at today and some of the successes you've had, throughout your journey?
Sure, yeah. So I started writing on LinkedIn 2016. I had my first article go viral in March of 2016 while I was still a job seeker, and have built my following from 0 to 122,000.
Wow.
Multiple,
and that's crazy on LinkedIn. That is significant.
It's pretty. It's also all organic, and I've done really cool video campaigns. Last September, we launched one called #Let's Get Honest, which reached over 26 million users. Yeah. We're actually revamping it for this September because actually most of the people that were on LinkedIn didn't have video access at the time. So fell in love with the platform, with the community, and have just grown it. And eventually my side hustle became my full-time gig.
There you go. And it's the age-old story. And, we have our book, YouTube Secrets. However, even in the book, we talk about utilizing all the platforms, right? And that's why I'm so excited about this interview, because, really no one's talking about LinkedIn, right? There's a lot of opportunity right now on LinkedIn, specifically around video. Can you talk to that? What are the opportunities and maybe some of the myths? Because, for me, I literally just activated my LinkedIn, even though I had one for years, last year. Can you dive into that?
Sure. I think the perception with most people, it's one of two things. It's either it's a job-seeking platform, which for sure, you can go on and find a job, but that's not the primary goal of the platform. It's the world's largest networking event that's open 24/7.
Yeah.
And I think when you can kind of change that mindset, it totally changes your approach.
Totally.
The other myth that I see that comes up often is that LinkedIn is really serious.
Yeah.
And I will agree that when I first started creating content, that it was pretty stale. It was pretty conservative. It was tough for me to even share photos, videos, any of that stuff. Now it's changed quite a bit. Once it was acquired by Microsoft, I think that people understood that this was a platform that was ready to innovate.
Yeah.
And that not only that, but that the business world was also changing from this, I'm a brand, let me speak at you, to I'm a person and I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I think when that changed, that's when a whole floodgate opened of content creators.
Absolutely. The one thing I'll say is, don't get me wrong, we love all you guys, right? And I think very highly of the viewers and subscribers we have on YouTube. But the difference being, a lot of people on YouTube are just passively watching YouTube, right? But like you said, on LinkedIn, you're actively using it, and it's like a two-way street there, right? There's definitely going to be influencers. If not, there already are influencers on LinkedIn. But what I'm saying is everybody's kind of on the same playing field, right? You're connecting with other people that want to make something happen together. That's the whole point of the name. And that's why when I give you props for 100,000, that's literally having multiple millions on YouTube just because of the ability to connect and make things happen.
Yeah, I think that's what attracted me to the LinkedIn platform to begin with. The fact that the intention was to learn, grow, and connect. Yeah. Everybody was there for the same reason. The community is surprisingly uplifting. Yeah. We have this idea that the business world is cold and conservative, and that just really hasn't been the case. Yeah. The opportunities that have happened for me personally, not just with me, with other people too, are just astounding. And you don't know it unless you're part of the community. And we all get that this is this huge hidden secret that some of us are afraid to even talk about because we love it so much that it's kind of scary to open it up to the world.
Yeah, and let me give you guys a practical example of what we're talking about here. So, I just started using LinkedIn very recently, but literally within like the last few months, I've been able to connect with decision makers, right? And make deals happen a lot more quickly than I would if I wasn't on LinkedIn. Because again, like when you're on LinkedIn, it's like people are open to the business discussion. So even as an influencer just starting out, you might not have a huge audience. You can like reach out to people and have that discussion versus just spamming people's email.
Absolutely.
So like that's huge for like people, especially considering video and like the opportunity on video on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. I mean, the people that I've connected with, I made it a habit of I would read a book and I would reach out to the author.
Yeah.
And not only that, I would create content and then I would have a discussion with the author in the comment threads. Like that is the magic of the platform is the fact that, again, it's the world's largest networking event. Everybody that you could possibly ever want to talk to is using the platform. They might not be using it daily, but they're using the platform.
We used to say that about Twitter. And I feel like LinkedIn is like on steroids because like Twitter is great because it's an opportunity to connect with anybody, right? But for social media people like us and YouTubers, that was more comfortable. That's why I'm excited about this interview because I want to get you guys more comfortable about LinkedIn. But let's talk about comfort, right? LinkedIn, a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that have literally not touched social media, never been in front of the camera. Let's talk about how you had to overcome your fear and suggestions and tips and best practice for other people when it comes to being in front of the lens.
Yeah, I had early access to LinkedIn Video last September as like a frequent contributor, and I sat on it for 2 weeks. I didn't tell anybody that I had the feature, and I had a friend of mine that I was talking to him, and he's like, "Have you seen the new LinkedIn feature?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've had it for 2 weeks," and he's like, "Well, what are you waiting for?" And I said, "Well, I don't have the right lighting, I don't have the right camera. I'm a writer first," so I was like finding all the excuses I could, and he's like. Michaela, you're full of it. Like, when we hang up, you're going to go and you're going to create your first video. My first video is about how much I hated being on video. And I would say about the first 10, I broke out in nervous hives up to my ears. And what I found was that nobody cared. Nobody even noticed the hives because it was about the message. And it's always been about the message. People don't care about what your hair looks like. They don't care about whether or not you have, a button that's out of place or whatever it may be. And the same is true on the LinkedIn platform. There's still people.
Yep, absolutely. And you guys, even on YouTube or other platforms where you're using video, hopefully for you guys who found this on LinkedIn, just know that like being on video is something you got to practice, right? There are those select few that like just naturally can act, but you'd be surprised. Some of those people are, like still doubting their skills, and they also get nervous. They're just good about hiding it. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into the lightning round?
Yeah, I think I come across a lot of clients that have never been on video, and they have this perception that they need to go out and hire this like full production team. They need to like put on the full suit and like just, it's business speak, right? Like just pitching basically what's on their brochure. And for a lot of people, it's a mindset switch. You can hold up a camera, you can use what you have, start with where you are with what you have, and then go from there. It's okay to be a little bit more casual. And I think once you embrace that and embrace the fact that you're a person, people want to buy from other people, that's where the magic happens.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. I'm looking forward to hearing your answer for this. So, you ready?
All
right.
Ooh, I don't know. After that first one.
Coffee or tea?
I would be punished if I didn't say coffee. That's my whole thing.
Book every influencer should read.
The 4 Agreements.
Favorite TV show?
Ooh, oh gosh. Gilmore Girls is a guilty pleasure.
Cat or dog?
Oh, I like pets, period. But I have 2 dogs, so
there you go.
Dogs.
Favorite social media platform that you use the most?
YouTube. I'm kidding. LinkedIn.
Really? LinkedIn then? It's for reals. Like you're on LinkedIn more.
I am on LinkedIn. Every 5 minutes I'm refreshing my screen. I need to know what's happening.
Let's take a pause there, you guys. This is why I'm so excited about this, because it doesn't seem logical that we're talking about LinkedIn. But one thing that Sean and I always drive home is this: go where the eyeballs are. You're using it just like so many other people are using it more than social media. Like we said, there's some people that don't even touch it, right? They have this like, there's a taboo about it, or like they're this like, they're not like relating to it, but they're using LinkedIn like a social media platform. And if you know that, you want your videos there. So just realize that, because I know a lot of smaller creators with smaller audiences, they're treating LinkedIn like a platform you would upload videos like YouTube or Twitter, and they're crushing because they're like so used to doing video. And again, you're connecting with the movers and shakers, the deal makers, the decision makers, right? Boom. What is your morning ritual?
Ooh, my morning ritual is, you know what? I actually go on YouTube.
Oh, there you go.
I do go on YouTube because you guys are a fun bunch.
Yeah.
And I like to start my day off on a positive note. And then I got my bulletproof coffee. Usually a second cup of coffee. Maybe a third if it's that kind of day.
In the morning? All in the morning? Wow.
I know. It's bad.
What's okay? I love coffee too, especially bulletproof.
You got to jam out a little bit too before you get started.
Totally. All right, last question. How has failure and setbacks set you up in life?
Okay.
Favorite failure?
So I don't know if this would be considered a failure, but I had agoraphobia for a year and a half, so I couldn't leave my house. Can't go to restaurants. You can't go anywhere in public. It's a fear of crowds and crowded spaces, and went from that to being like now an international keynote speaker. And that year and a half really, it was because of perfectionism. I was worried about what people thought of me. I was worried about having a panic attack in public. And I got to a certain point where you have to decide. It's either comfort or courage. And for me, it was, I'm going to live a courageous life, even if that means that I'm super imperfect. And I haven't looked back since.
I'm guessing it didn't happen overnight. It was something you had to work towards.
Absolutely. Isn't everything like that?
Absolutely. And that's why patience is key, you guys. Play the long game. All right, to finish this off, since we are talking about video specifically for LinkedIn, what are some of the best practices that both creators on YouTube or just generally LinkedIn users need to be practicing to be successful on that platform?
I think, again, start where you are with what you have. I think it's kind of like going to the gym. You don't need to buy all the expensive equipment before you've gone on a treadmill.
Excuses.
Yeah,
right?
It just becomes an excuse. So I think start where you are with what you have, but then also think about what's the next step going to be like. So what's going to be that next investment? Think about the next $100. Where are you going to spend it? For me, it's been audio. That's been a big thing for me. So I invested in a mic for my iPhone 8. The next one might be lighting. Then maybe it's investing in a camera. But figure out what those steps are going to be like. Don't feel like you need to go and spend $5,000 to just get started. So that would be the biggest thing. The second thing is be brief. That's a big one. I see a lot of people rambling and they're like, okay, well, I want to be candid, so I'm just not going to write anything down. And I don't know about you, but like I need to have some sort of outline for what I'm about to say, because I need to make sure that I'm giving value. It's not about me. It's about the person that's listening to it. So I think knowing what you're going to say is really important. And I think that when it comes to all video, it's about the what and the why. So you can't just share your tips. You also need to share why it matters. So share your story and then share the lessons or that you learned, or if you're sharing a success, then share the steps that other people can take to get to that place.
Woo! Fire!
That was a lot of
Literally, we just met like not too long ago, and we didn't really script any of this. We were talking about some of the points. Amazing. Thank you so much. Michaela, let everybody know where they can find you and, where you're at on socials, obviously on LinkedIn too.
So LinkedIn, my name is Michaela Alexis. It's Michael with an A.
You can follow her?
Yeah, you follow me for sure if you're interested. That's where I spend all of my time. It's literally my passion. Instagram, I actually do quite a bit of behind the scenes, because I think it's really important when I do all these speaking events that people know that like there's still a struggle to get to these points, right? So I like to share the behind the scenes.
Still the same name, right? On there.
It's Mick Alexis on Instagram, and that's where I spend all my time.
Boom, you guys, LinkedIn, Instagram. We'll put all the links down below. Thank you again so much for letting me ask all these questions.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for being open to talking about LinkedIn.
Absolutely. No, we love all. We're not like committed only to one platform. You guys should be putting videos out where the attention is. So with that being said, here on Video Influencers, we're helping build your influence, income, impact with online videos. Talk to you later.